Hello and welcome. I'm Akil, and today I invite you to join me on a rather special journey. We are venturing into the heart of Africa, a continent of immense scale and staggering diversity. But we will not be treading the well-worn paths. Instead, our expedition will take us far from the crowds, into the quiet corners and hidden realms where nature has sculpted its most extraordinary masterpieces. These are places whispered about by seasoned travelers, yet largely unknown to the wider world. Our quest is to uncover 9 of Africa's most breathtaking wonders, each a testament to the planet's raw, creative power. Let us begin our exploration of Africa's most secret wonders, and perhaps, in seeing them, we will see our own world with fresh, wondering eyes. Our first destination lies in the north of Tanzania, a place of stark, almost brutal beauty. Here, nestled in the Great Rift Valley, is a body of water that defies expectation. This is Lake Natron. At first glance, it appears almost otherworldly, its surface a vast, shimmering expanse of deep, startling red. This is no trick of the light. The extraordinary color is the work of countless microscopic organisms, salt-loving cyanobacteria, that thrive in the lake's intensely alkaline waters, producing red pigments as they photosynthesize under the fierce African sun. The conditions here are extreme, to say the least. The water's pH can soar to over 10.5, as caustic as ammonia, and temperatures can reach a blistering 60 degrees Celsius. Yet, life finds a way. The lesser flamingo, in its millions, has adapted to this forbidding world. They are the only large animal to breed here, their tough skin and specialized glands allowing them to drink the water and build their mud-mound nests. But the lake holds a more macabre secret. Its high concentration of sodium carbonate acts as a natural preserver. Birds and bats that fall in can be calcified, washed ashore as haunting stone-like figures. We now travel northwest deep into the vast sandy expanse of the Sahara Desert in Mauritania. From the ground, it is a seemingly endless sea of dunes and rock. But from high above, an extraordinary feature reveals itself. A colossal circular structure nearly 50 kilometers in diameter stares up from the earth like a giant unblinking eye. This is the Richat structure, known more evocatively as the Eye of the Sahara. For decades, its origin was a profound mystery. When it was first discovered, scientists hypothesized it must be a massive impact crater, the scar left by a meteorite. The perfect circularity seemed to support this theory. However, extensive investigation revealed no evidence of shock metamorphosed rock. The current scientific consensus points to a much slower, more terrestrial process. The Richat structure is now believed to be a deeply eroded geological dome, a blister in the Earth's crust. Over 100 million years ago, molten rock pushed upwards but failed to break the surface, creating a dome of layered sedimentary rock and igneous intrusions. Then wind and water peeled away layers like an onion, creating the concentric rings we see today. The harder quartzites form ridges, softer mudstones have been worn into valleys. What we see is a cross-section of ancient geological upheaval, a magnificent natural dissection. Astronauts often use it as a landmark. Its stark clarity against the desert makes it unforgettable. Yet even with a scientific explanation, the Eye of the Sahara retains an air of profound mystery and wonder. Our journey now takes us to the northeast of Chad, to a remote and rugged corner of the Sahara that holds some of the continent's most astonishing secrets. This is the Enedi Plateau, a massive sandstone bastion rising abruptly from the desert floor. Over millions of years, wind and seasonal water have sculpted this plateau into a surreal, fantastical landscape, a labyrinth of natural art, towering arches, slender pinnacles, mushroom-shaped formations. Walking through the Enedi is like stepping into a dream. The scale is monumental. Natural arches span canyons framing brilliant blue skies. The landscape changes with the light, sandstone glowing orange, pink, and gold, creating a spectacle that feels both ancient and alive. Hidden within its canyons and beneath rocky overhangs is one of the most significant collections of rock art in the Sahara. These pictographs and petroglyphs date back thousands of years, depicting giraffes, elephants, ostriches, hunters, herders, a library of ancient stories from a time when the Sahara was much greener. The styles change over time, creating a chronological record of cultures long gone. The isolation of the Enedi Plateau has been its salvation, preserving both geology and precious art in near pristine condition. It remains a place of profound solitude and discovery, a sacred archive of the earth and its people. We now travel south to the dramatic landscapes of South Africa. This is the Blyde River Canyon, a place of astonishing verdancy and life. Often cited as the third largest canyon in the world, what truly sets it apart is that it is the largest green canyon on the planet. Its slopes are draped in lush subtropical forest. One iconic feature is the three rondavels, round-topped peaks resembling traditional huts. The River of Joy carves its winding path through the Drakensberg escarpment, slicing through quartzite and shale to create a gorge plunging more than 800 meters. A microclimate sustains a rich ecosystem. Some mango monkeys leap through the canopy, leopards prowl the slopes, and birds like the crowned eagle and Canaisna turako fill the air with life. Nearby, features such as Bork's Luck potholes were carved by swirling water and are tied to the region's gold rush history. From God's window, the view seems to stretch to the ends of the earth. Sheer cliffs, plunging waterfalls, and endless green vistas combine to create a sensory experience that is profoundly moving. It is a place where geology meets the gentle persistence of life. For our next wonder, we must prepare for one of the most extreme environments on the face of the earth. We travel to the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti. This is the Danakil Depression, one of the lowest, driest, hottest places on Earth. A landscape so alien it feels like another planet. At the junction of three tectonic plates, the land has sunk hundreds of meters below sea level. Intense volcanism fuels active vents. The ground here is alive. Vast salt flats, remnants of an ancient sea, have been harvested for centuries by the Afar. They cut salt into blocks and load camel caravans in a tradition little changed over time. Near volcanic vents such as Dalol, superheated brine deposits a breathtaking array of minerals: fluorescent sulfur yellows, acid green pools, and delicate salt terraces. The ground is a fragile crust over boiling springs. The air is pungent with sulfur. Yet scientists have found extremophile microbes thriving here, life pushing the known boundaries and offering clues to how life might exist on other planets. Another spectacle is Erta Ale, Smoking Mountain, one of the few volcanoes with a persistent lava lake. Standing at the crater's edge at night, molten rock churns below, a visceral window into the Earth's mantle. The Danakil is a living laboratory, a dangerous, beautiful canvas painted by geological forces. We return to Chad to the same Entity Massif we explored earlier, but this time we venture deeper into its labyrinthine canyons to find a miracle of life in the desert. In a land of arid rock and sand, the existence of a permanent body of water is a treasure beyond measure. This is the Guelta d'Arche. Every day, hundreds of camels are brought here, their groans echoing off towering cliffs. The water is dark and murky, stained by centuries of use, but it is lifeline for nomads and animals alike. Sheer cliffs up to 120 meters dwarf the animals. The procession is primeval, a scene unchanged for millennia. But the Guelta holds an even more astonishing secret: a remnant population of Nile crocodiles, descendants of creatures that once lived across a greener Sahara, now trapped in this isolated pool. Seeing a crocodile in the middle of the Sahara is surreal. Smaller than river cousins, adapted to limited habitat and diet, they are a living link to the Sahara's past, a biological time capsule. The Guelta d'Arche is dramatic geology, a vital lifeline for nomads, and a sanctuary for relic reptiles. It reminds us that even the most desolate places hold astonishing vitality and secrets. Our next destination is an island nation famous for its unique biodiversity: Madagascar. This is the Tsingy de Bamaraha, a vast plateau of limestone eroded into a dense forest of razor-sharp pinnacles and needles. Once a seabed, tectonic uplift and eons of rainfall carved caves, tunnels, and vertical fissures, shaping a fortress of stone that truly is where one cannot walk barefoot. For a long time almost inaccessible, today cables, ladders, and suspension bridges allow cautious exploration. Crossing a wobbly bridge high above a canyon of stone daggers is thrilling and humbling. The complex topography creates micro-habitats: sunny dry tops with succulents, deep damp canyons with pocket forests. Life adapts in remarkable ways. This is the kingdom of the lemur, Several species adapted to this vertical world. Deccan's Cephalica leaps between spires. Chameleons, endemic birds, and insects thrive here, many species found nowhere else. A landscape of sharp edges and hidden softness, the Singi is a crucible of evolution and one of the world's most extraordinary, least-known ecosystems. From the vertical forest of Madagascar, we journey to the arid landscapes of southern Namibia. Here, the Earth has split open to create a geological feature of monumental proportions. This is the Fish River Canyon. Stretching some 160 kilometers, up to 550 meters deep, and 27 kilometers across at its widest, it is Africa's Great Trench, second only to the Grand Canyon in overall scale. Formed by a north-south crustal fracture long ago and later carved by the Fish River, it is the product of tectonics and relentless water erosion, two acts in a grand story. For much of the year, the river reduces to a string of pools, turquoise beads at the bottom of a massive gorge, but after summer rains it can roar into a raging torrent. Standing at Hobos, the scale is overwhelming. For the adventurous, an 85-kilometer trek along the canyon floor is a multi-day, humbling journey, wading pools, scrambling boulders, and sleeping beneath brilliant stars. The Fish River Canyon speaks of deep geological history, patient waterwork, and a vast, soul-stirring emptiness, one of Africa's most awe-inspiring secret wonders. For our final wonder, we return to Ethiopia, but this time we ascend high into the northern highlands. Here lies a spectacular mountain range, the Simien Mountains, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Formed by volcanic activity and later shaped by erosion, the range has jagged pinnacles, precipitous cliffs, and vast plateaus. Its ridgelines are often called the chessboard of the gods for their sculpted appearance. Not just geology, this is a refuge for rare species. Gelada baboons, grass-eating primates living in huge family groups, the critically endangered Walia ibex clinging to cliffs, and the world's rarest canid, the Ethiopian wolf. High plateaus dotted with giant lobelia, strange fuzzy sentinels, underscore an Afro-alpine ecosystem adapted to cold nights and intense daytime sun. Exploring the Simians, by day trip or multi-day trek, is unforgettable. Where the air is thin and the views endless, the Simien Mountains are a living sanctuary on the brink. As our final secret wonder, the Simians remind us of the beauty and fragility of our planet's most unique and remote places. Our journey through Africa's secret wonders has come to an end. From the crimson waters of Lake Natron to the skyscraping peaks of the Simien Mountains, we have witnessed but a fraction of the marvels hidden across this vast continent. These 9 wonders are more than just beautiful locations. They are a vital part of our planet's natural heritage. They remind us there is still so much to discover, to understand, and to protect. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. The adventure doesn't have to end here. Subscribe for more fascinating facts about the world.